Yo, Dave Hatcher here from Tahoe Bouldering Guides. And I've decided to put together a little video series for y'all on YouTube to kind of help you find the boulders. I know a lot of these approaches can be pretty cryptic. So my thought was to kind of take you on these like little virtual tours and maybe it'll kind of help you sort it out. And then once you get to the boulders, you're pretty much gonna want a guidebook, I think, because that way you'll be able to tell which boulders are which and which problems are which. Also in these videos, I'll probably do some little profiles on some of the bouldering, some of the classics. You'll find all kinds of useful information in these videos. So have at it and let's go bouldering. All right, all you plastic pulling, latte sipping, hipster gym kooks. Today, I'm going to show you this cool new zone called Kings Landing. Kings Landing is up on Kingsbury Grade, and Kingsbury Grade has had this reputation forever of basically having pretty much nothing. The only thing up there worth climbing, people would say, is Foxy Lady. And they were right up until just about 2 years ago when Kings Landing got discovered. Kings Landing is this strange anomaly. It's just one little pocket of rock, one little ridge line that holds good bouldering amongst a bunch of choss. A couple things to remember before you head up to Kings Landing. Number one, it's on the east shore and the rock's a little chossy. Number two, it's all about diamonds in the rough up here. There's choss everywhere, and even on the Kings Landing Ridge where there's a lot of good climbing, you got to kind of pick and choose. You'll see a bunch of choss, 3 or 4 or 5, 6 chossy boulders, and then right in the middle of all those chossy boulders is one sweet boulder with good rock and a good problem. The name of the game is diamonds in the rough, and just think anomaly. There is good climbing up here. Let's see, another thing to consider is the grades. The best grades up here are probably in the V5, V6 range. So if you climb V5, V6, there's a couple outstanding problems you just got to do. Believe it or not, Dirty Trick, Isostatic Rebound are a couple of the really mega climbs. There's nothing harder than V7, so if you're looking for hard stuff, don't bother coming up here. And if you want easier stuff, if you're looking for climbs from V0 to V4, there's a fair amount of stuff up there in that range, and enough to keep you busy for a day or two. All right, that's pretty much it. Come give Kings Landing a check out if you want. And here's a little spray down on the approach. I just followed the directions in the guidebook to the lower Kings Landing parking area. And here I am at the green gate here. And I wanted to show you one thing here because you got a good vantage point. That's upper Kings Landing up there. And then lower Kings Landing is in this kind of valley behind. So to approach upper Kings Landing, you're just going to continue up the road, park up top here and walk in that way. And then you have two options for lower Kings Landing. You can go up top and you can park up top and you can hike down a trail to the boulders, or you can walk out this road here, catch a trail and go up around that way. And there's a problem out there called Vista Arret. It's about halfway. It's about 10 minutes either way, whether you come in from here or you come in from the top. So if you're gonna climb at the lower Kings Landing area, like by Vista Arret and the stuff below it, you're gonna wanna go in this way and hit the lower stuff. And if you're gonna climb at the Vista Arret and the stuff above it, then you'd come in from upper Kings Landing and go down. And what it is this road goes out and then you catch a trail, and a really nice trail just wraps all the way around this mountain and comes in to the upper parking area for upper Kings Landing. So it's really basic. You just walk that trail and there's boulders the whole way. So let's see, I'll start with showing you the approach from down low here to the lower Kings Landing stuff, and then I'll show you the beta for the top approach. walk down the road for 3 minutes and you're gonna hit this little junction here. And what you wanna do here is go right and uphill, up this steep little hill to those power lines up there. We just grinded up that steep hill there for 4 minutes. It plateaus off and you walk about 50 yards after the plateau and you'll hit this trail here that intersects this road we're walking on. And this might be the rim trail, I'm not sure. But in any event, we're gonna take a right on this trail here off of this little road here. And after a few minutes, we'll be into the first cluster of boulders. And a little further after that, the second cluster of boulders. We just walked about 2 minutes down on this little trail here now. And if you just look right above the trail here after 2 minutes, this is the first little cluster. These are the beef boulders. And yeah, that's a nice problem. Carter Country Meats, cool slab there. Right behind it on that rock is a cool V3, V4 sit start. And to continue on to the boulders out on the plateau, we're just gonna continue out on the trail here for a few more minutes. And you're gonna get out on this plateau out here with a real nice view of Tahoe, and that's where the rest of the circuit is. And there is one other thing I wanna show you on here. If you just turn back on the trail, here's the trail, and then right up this gully here, there's a gully right there, and there's a little plateau right there. And right on top of that little plateau is 2 really nice boulders with some cool steep arete problems on them. So that's it. You got the plateau there with the aretes. You got these warm-ups right here, nice problems, or continue out this trail to the plateau, to the rest of the circuit. We just walked out the trail for 3 minutes past the beef boulders, and here's the plateau out here. And this is what you're gonna see when you get out here. And I think one of the main attractions here is that arete right there you're looking at. As far as we know, it hasn't been climbed yet, so we're gonna clean it up today and climb it. And either way, even if it has been climbed, we'll get a grade on it and check it out. And then this is just basically a little circuit out here. There's a few boulders on the left before you got out here. And then up over this rise, back in here, there's a bunch more boulders. here I am at the Upper Kings Landing parking area, right here by these houses. You follow the directions up in the guidebook and you'll see this crag right here. And what you want to do is not take this real obvious trail to the right, but just down to the left here in this gully, you can see like a little white stick there. And there's another really obvious bomber trail that heads out that way below this crag. And you're gonna head out that trail for 1 minute and then strike up the hill. And then also is another option to get to Lower Kings Landing north. You're gonna just continue out this trail for a few minutes, about 3 minutes, until you get to this really cool compression problem called Dirty Tricks. And then from there you can continue on the trail down into the top of Lower Kings Landing north. I'm 1 minute down the trail from the car here, and what you want to do here for Upper Kings Landing is bank left off the trail and strike straight up this steep hill until you get to that ridge. And when you get to that ridge, you'll start finding some rock stacks, and that'll lead you right into Upper Kings Landing. You will get to Helicopter Dad after 10 minutes, and then another 5 minutes past that, you will get to the central area at Upper Kings Landing, and then you can branch off from there. And the main thing to remember here is when you get to this ridge, when you start to find the rock stacks, they're kind of a little bit to the left on the east side of the ridge. It is a lot easier hiking there, so you kind of want to avoid the lake side, the west side of this ridge, and just get over that east side as quick as you can. You'll be right above the houses, follow the rock stacks up. And then, as I said in the last video, if you want to go to Lower Kings Landing north, just continue on this trail for another 2 minutes or so and you will arrive at Dirty Tricks. And then from there you can drop down into, believe it or not, classic V6 Arete and all the other problems. And it's probably a little bit easier of an approach than coming in from the lower area. But if you're already climbing at the lower area, at Vista Arete and whatnot, you're just going to want to go to Vista Arete and then head up the trail to that stuff. But if you're just going straight to Lower Kings Landing north to Dirty Tricks and, believe it or not, and those problems, go this way. It's way better. We just walked about 10 to 12 minutes and here we are at the main area. Here's Uhtred right here, and we're right on the ridge, and we passed some stuff on the way in, and here's the main circuit here. There's a few boulders just over this rise here, that away. And then to get to the rest of the boulders, you're just gonna hike right along this ridge here. Just stay right on the razor line of the ridge and hike down for about another 10 minutes or so. And just down and right from the ridge at the end of the plateau is the Neurokinetics and some other really classic lines. We just arrived at Upper Kings Landing south, and it was about a 10-minute walk along the ridge line from Upper Kings Landing north to get here. So just follow the ridge line through all the boulders, and this is kind of the end of the circuit here, right on the end of the plateau here. And I'm actually looking down at the parking lot right there for Lower Kings Landing. So that's it. That's the beta. Let's do some climbing. All right, that wraps up the section on King's Landing. Whoa. Hope you guys have a good time up there. Little history lesson on King's Landing and Kingsbury Grade. David Outcalt put up Foxy Lady, I'm not even sure when, I want to say 2005 or so. And that was kind of the only boulder problem up there forever. And every local you ever talk to, there's nothing up there, that's all choss. And then Roman called me up one day, he's like, Dave, I found some boulders up there, I went for a hike and there's this one little pocket of rock that's good, you guys should go check it out. So I recruited Dave Suizo and we went up there, and sure enough, we started finding some cool boulder problems amongst all the other crappy ones, and we just kind of went to town up there and developed what I think is a pretty cool circuit. And my brother Mike Hatchett, Sam Cohen, Roman put up a few, Jesse Bonin, Ian Cotter Brown are some of the people that helped out up there putting up FAs. And yeah, it's a pretty cool zone, so go check it out and get some.